Hey guys, Eric Smith here, 5 Reasons Sports. Just wanted to get some quick thoughts out there regarding the Jaelan Phillips trade to the Philadelphia Eagles. As we know now, he was traded to the Eagles for the Eagles' third-round pick, so it's probably going to be a very late day 2 pick. Jaelan Phillips is a good player. He's probably going to go to Philadelphia, play under Vic Fangio. As long as he can stay healthy, he's probably going to put up some really good stats over the second half of this season in that defense. And that's probably going to result in a pretty large contract for JP, probably a top 10, top 5 edge rusher contract, as long as he can stay healthy. So, we could have waited and seen about a comp pick. Probably would have come in around A3, but we thought that we were going to get that with Christian Wilkins as well. With this season down the drain already, I don't see us in a market that we could re-sign JP to that type of contract. So I have no issues with them moving on, getting that third-round pick this year, and being able to look at some of the young guys that we have and see what they have going forward. I think that Jaelan Phillips is a very good player. I don't think he's a great player. He's not up there in the Micah Parsons, in the Myles Garrett stratosphere. He's not a guy that is just going to take over a game by himself. I think he's a lot closer, and I forget who made this comparison, but an Olivier Vernon, a very good number 2. If you have him paired up with one of those elite guys, then he's going to look like an elite guy also. But if he is your top pass rusher, I think that you're always going to be looking for a little more out of Jaelan Phillips. I think that he's going to get that top pass rusher type contract, and I'm not sure that whatever team signs him to that is ever going to be completely satisfied with it. Over this year already, we've had several opportunities where Jaelan Phillips has been very close and hasn't been able to close out on sacks, and that's kind of been throughout his career. We've talked for a long time now about Jaelan Phillips being very high on the pressure and disruption rates, but not being able to close out and get those sacks. And that's what those elite guys need to be able to do. They need to be able to get those sacks. And that happened on Thursday night against Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson was able to escape his grasp on a key third down play. And there was another one later in the game where Jaelan Phillips was coming around on a stunt where he was looping around, should have been coming up the middle straight to Lamar Jackson's face. He takes it wide, ends up outside of 2 other pass rushers, and leaves a lane up the middle for Lamar Jackson to scramble. So Jaelan Phillips is a great person. I don't think there's any intentionally selfish stuff with him, but I do think that he tries to do too much at times, and it puts him in a bad position. And he's, when you are the top of the top, right, you can go off script and do some of that stuff and get away with it. But when you're not that player, then it's amplified a lot more when you do that type of stuff and you're not offsetting it with the big-time plays. So we talked the other day when I made my video on the Chris Greer mutually parting ways, and one of the things that I had said in there was that it was an opportunity to see what some of these younger guys have. And this move is very much exactly that. We have seen the Dolphins moving Jaelan Phillips around. We've seen them standing him up over the nose at times this season, and that opens the door up for Chop Robinson to seamlessly move into that role. Jaelan Phillips was playing a very high percentage of snaps. Chop Robinson was not. He was down, below 50% of defensive snaps in most games. So this opens up the door for Chop to increase his snaps and also to be the guy that they're moving around on the defense. Not that I want to see him drop into coverage the way that they did with Jaelan Phillips, but being able to see him move to different spots in the defense and get after some of those interior offensive linemen is something that I'm looking forward to seeing with Chop as well. We will see if that is the last move for the Dolphins or if we see some subsequent moves that also open things up for younger players. As always, stay tuned here on 5 Reasons Sports, and we'll talk again soon.